So, some big news. I am coming back to the Suzanne Venker Show. I hope this makes people happy. I have heard from many of you asking, when are you coming back? And to be perfectly honest, I was not planning on coming back. If you have kept up with my work in other ways, then you know I've talked a lot about the fact that I'm working on a course, an online course, but without spending too much time explaining myself there, I have shelved that concept for a lot of reasons. And what I'd really like to do is get back to this podcast in conjunction with my marriage and relationship coaching, because what I have found is that um, there's so much that goes on every week in my coaching sessions that the initial idea about online course, just for the record, is most coaches are the ones who I think end up creating courses from having done one-on-one coaching for so long, and they wanted to reach more people with that help, and rather than go one by one, which with an individual, they wanted to put together the course that contains the material that they teach in the coaching, and just have it sort of like out there in the world to get more people. And I mean, I think in theory that's great, but for one thing, I really like the one-on-one. I'm working with people one-on-one, so there's that. But also, um, it's just a lot of work to put together a course, and it feels like it ends up being more um, of a focus on numbers than on helping people. And I thought, well, if I'm not going to do that course and I come back to the podcast, what would I really like to focus on in the podcast? And how can I do what I was kind of going to do with the course using this platform? And the upshot of it is I'm going to take what I have been working on, as well as the um, coaching material, and bring it into the world through this podcast. So that if you have been um, aware of this podcast from the get go, it went on for about 3 years every week until I stopped last June. This is now January of 2023 in the new year. And I started out by just doing, straight up interviews with people, if you recall. And then eventually, after several years, you heard more just from me. But I really want to streamline this to be focused on, again, both what I was putting together for a course, as well as what I'm seeing every week in marriage and relationship coaching, because I can, without talking about people's particular stories, or at least not sharing their names rather, I can certainly tell you what I'm seeing and have a conversation in a broader way through this platform. So that's my plan going forward. I need you to be somewhat flexible, because I don't have, a specific plan where it's mapped out months in advance like I used to do, or weeks in advance. It's going to be a little more off the cuff. So hopefully that works for all of you. I'm excited. I really miss talking to you. I know you guys have asked about having this out there every week, and I wanted to do it, but I couldn't do that and the other thing as well. So that's how it came to be that I'm back, because I dumped the other idea. So for those of you who were really excited about a course, I apologize. We're gonna have to regroup here and go about this in a different way. And I think it can be done. I think it's the same kind of um, material and teachings that can just come in the form of a podcast. And then for those of you who want and need to work with me one on one, can still do that. So that's the plan going forward. I'll That's it. I'm just excited about it, and stay tuned for the first podcast. It will be coming up soon.